online jewelry and accessory business for women. Here, excuse me, here we do lots of fun things. We do tutorials, which is what we have today. We do chats, which is where we talk about anything you would like about jewelry making or running your small business. We do maker meetups where we create together, and then we have live events. We do have a live event tonight at 7 p.m. Central here on TikTok only. So, and with the live events, it's your place where you can add more items to your bead collection. But with our tutorials, I try to do step-by-step instructions so that you can see how to make different things. Today, we're doing something that's outside of my realm. I am learning this. So um, I'm just going to say I'm not the best at doing it, but I found a fun technique. I'm doing something that I wanted to share with you guys. And that's why I decided I'm going to go with this no matter what. Okay. We have to like go outside our comfort zones, and that's where I'm at today. If you know me, wire wrapping is not easy for me. It just doesn't come naturally to me. And one Nordic Luna, she sent me something that was really cool. And it actually is, hi Rose. It is something that I like, and I'm like, I really want to learn how to do that. So here it is. You won't be able to tell by just looking at that. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Trisha. So when you look at this, you just think, okay, it's a wire wrap with a bead. But if you have your tea, the little tea packets here, and I'm going to show you, you take your tea string and you wrap it around in here, and it goes into your teacup, and this sits on the other side so that you don't lose this inside the cup. So that is what we're going to be doing. No way, Rose. You got sleep? That's amazing. So it's just something really small. But as we know, hi, Ashley, I am not good with wire wrapping, even with the technique that, yeah. And the thing is that these just take a few minutes to make. You can make this dangle part as long as you want it, as short. I just did this really quick with one bead, and it's one of the synthetic moonstones. But the thing is that this part, you can use any kind. You can use aluminum or the copper-based wires. If you're going to use aluminum, go with a larger gauge because aluminum is a lot more malleable than the copper. So I'm using aluminum 16 gauge. If you're going to use a copper base, you can go with like an 18 gauge copper. Hi, Maria. But the thing that I was like so excited about with this is I still stink even using this, but I cannot do these circles at all. Like it is so hard for me to even do those. And I'm like, oh, I hate it. I don't like it. I get so in my head. And I'm like, okay, so what I did is I went out and I found this lady, and I cannot give her credit because I can't remember her name. So please don't get mad at me. I'll try to remember her name and get that to you guys. But she said, grab something to put the wire around. And I'm like, how about my ring mandrel? I've never, ever, ever thought about it until I watched this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point you guys down, but I do have to, I drank a whole bunch at lunch. Ryan and I went for, if you can tell, a convertible ride. So I have a hat on, but I had to drink a lot of fluids because it's hot. And now I'm going to run to the restroom while you guys try to get us to, let's see if we can get to 5,000 while I'm there. And then I'm going to come back and I will point you guys down and show you how to use the ring mandrel to do this. Who would have ever thought? Let me know Yep, they do too. I've never seen them do it. I'm like, holy buckets. I'm not as good as they are. Nowhere near. I'm going to be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's see where we got to. Got to 1.3. Okay. All righty, everybody. I'm going to point you down. Yep. I love it. Over here, Ashley put in the comments, you have to change the stinking thinking. That's what I have to tell my brain. Example, I will get this done, or I can do this. It's true. I have to do that, but I got to find something that works for me. All right. I'm pointing you all down. When I point you down, I do not have backup accounts on today. Whoa. Why are you guys not going down for me? Hold on here. TikTok. YouTube. There we go. Let me get you straightened a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm going to bring up the backup account just so I can see where I'm at. Okay. For this, you're going to need, I'm using aluminum, so I'm going to use aluminum 16 gauge. I'm going to use my ring mandrel. We have chain nose pliers, flush cutters, round nose pliers. I'm going to use my bail pliers. I like those better than the round nose for this. And then if you need head pins or wire, whatever you want to create the dangle part, you get to choose which one you want to do. All right. Here we go. Let me see. Make sure you guys can see everything. Yep, you guys can. All right, perfect. Okay. So you can do anywhere from 6. Thank you, Tyler. 6 inches to 10 inches, however much you want to do for your loops. However big you want to make them, the bigger you round you make, the longer piece you need. I'm going to go with about this much. I'll measure it now because, I didn't measure it before. I just cut, and I'll tell you how much I'm using. I need my nylon pliers just to straighten the wire a little bit. But my nylon pliers needs new nylon, and the nylon is stuck in transit. All right. Whoops, wrong piece of wire. We'll get that out of my way. We're going to straighten my wire out so that we can measure it because he's got a loop in him. There we go. That's better. All right. We have 7 inches of wire there. Whoops, I want that. I want to get those out of my way. Okay. Down. Well, hello. Hi, Zuli. I didn't even notice you in. we're in here. The larger you want for the circle here, the further down you go on the ring mandrel. The tighter or smaller you want it to be, the higher up you go. For this, I found going down to about like the 10 to 11 is a great starting spot. I'm going to be at the 10. And all you do is just wrap that wire around the ring mandrel, like so. That's all, instead of trying to do that. All right. Now, we're going to take the smallest one of the bail making pliers. Just go ahead and take that, wrap that around to make a circle at the top. And you can wrap that however many times you want. You just want to get this piece up against the other piece of wire. Then you take your chain nose pliers and you start moving it in. And you bring this down a little bit and start moving these in just a little bit. Bring it down and bring the other part down. And when you look at it, I don't have my other hoop on down here yet, but you want to look and see, okay, do I like the spacing that I have between each one of the wires? Of all things, I don't know that I'm going to move anything. If I needed to move it, it's really simple to move, which I'll show you here in just a second. These here, Tyler, this is called a bail making tool. So I pinch the wire between the two here, and I'm going to use the smaller one, and I'm going to go away from me, whoops, and just push that around as much as you want. And then I want it to lay flush, so I'm going to just smush that down and make it look flush. There we go. And of all things, they are right above each other. That is so simple, and I love using my ring mandrel. You're welcome. Now, I'm going to grab some beads. I'm going to grab the bead soup that we have going on here and see what we can grab out of here to create something with this to decorate it up. We could do, we have a couple of these. I'm wondering about that one. And nope, that's too big with that. Just, ooh, there we go. We can have one of the moonstone, synthetic moonstone with that mother of pearl. Thank you guys. I'm like, I am all for something easy. I was like, when I watched this lady do this, I was like, no way. I'm like, why did I never think about that before? I've got a container with head pins in it, and I'm seeing if I can find longer head pins in it. We have a gigantically long head pin, but I don't need that big one. Maybe these will work. I'm thinking these might be stainless steel. Nope. Whew. Okay. So we're going to put this one on, maybe. There we go. He's on. We're putting that on a head pin. We're going to use our round nose pliers, and we're going to create the loop by going 90 degrees away, reposition our tool, 45, bring this around towards me, reposition this bottom. It was on the bottom. Now we're moving it to the top so that we have a complete circle here at the top. Hold on to that. Grab the chain nose pliers and wrap that around the wire, and we find our cutters. and cut that off. There we go. He's a little, whoop, wrong plier. It's a little bit crooked, so I'm going to straighten him up. There we go. Now, for the second one, I am going to create a loop without the bead on. And if you want directions on the bead or how to do the loop here, there is a video out on the tube called Dangled Earrings tutorial, and that will teach you how to do this. I was supposed to put that on there. That doesn't work. I need to put it on that before I close it up. I didn't think of that. Let me try that again. I'm talking and not thinking. There, open that up, put it onto this, then close this up and create that loop. But what I was going to say is there is a video on YouTube that tells you step by step how to do this from sitting at my position instead of sitting across from me like you guys are right now. So we got that loop, and that's going to create that. We want to cut off the head pin part, put this bead on, create our loop. Open up the loop, put on our wire wrap, and then put this, whoops. Let's go this way and see if we can get that. We have just a little bit, little itty bitty piece. We're down to the bead at least. Hi, Lulu. Owie. There we go. There we are. It's our little tea bag holder. Now I'm going to show you guys how this will work. So I'm going to bring you guys back up. So my question, is that how Izzy and Leisha do it? Do they use it like that, or do they do it a little bit different? Guys, let me know. All right, so we take our tea bag, take the string, and you literally just take the string and wrap it around in here until it gets the center. It's different. Okay. And then you put it in there. And then you have your tea bag. The tea bag's it's gonna offset each other a little bit so that they will be there like that. But that's how you do it. It's so simple. Am I a master at this? No. But what I really, really wanted to show you guys is how you can use something to help you create those. So it's not that hard. If I can do this, but I want to show you guys, I practice this. Literally, I practice this. I'm going to show you, I'll show you my pieces. I have the beginning through it all, and you guys can see. So I cannot take credit for it. I'm going to see if I can find who made these. So Nordic Luna knows I drink tea. And so she sent me the video. And let me see if I'm looking for the video. I don't remember if you sent it to my backup account or this account. Must have been backup or I'm on my backup. So let me go to my main one. So, and I want to give credit to where credit is due on this because I do not want to take credit for it. Let's see. The person who makes these, and she does a way better job than me. Hi, Julie. Her name is on TikTok is Heidi's Wraps. It's HeidisWraps. And she does like the bead chains with it. She will do a piece of chain and then do leaves off of them. She does beads that are like what we just did. She does lots of different things to decorate those. The person that I learned to use the ring mandrel, she didn't use the ring mandrel, but she said find something that will work. I'm going to give her credit. Let me look her up too, because I don't want to take credit for someone else's ideas. She put it out there, and then I went and used my ring mandrel because I was like, hey, I can do this. So that is, she is on the tube, and her name is Heather Boyd, Boyd Wire. And she has a lot of wire wrapping tutorials out there. So she's really easy for me to understand as someone that's learning how to wire wrap. And we all talk about wanting to learn. And she's the one, she didn't use her ring mandrel. She actually used her ring display that you would have on your table. And Heather Boyd Wire. And Boyd is Boyd. And so she's really good about explaining it. And she's the one that like, she makes you think about what you can use. That's what I liked about her and her tutorials so far, is that she was really good. The gauge will depend. Oh, wow. The gauge will depend on your base metal. I used for these today a 16 gauge aluminum wire. If you are going to use copper wire, then use 18 gauge. So depending on your base. But this is a great way, another really neat way to be able to use those one or two extra beads that you have that you're, like when we do the bead soup that we've been talking about, what can you do for it? And literally, I was like, when I saw this, I'm like, we can use the bead soup for this. We can create whatever we want with it. Yes, you can use other ones, but literally, Heidi's Wraps, the one that we looked at the video to get the idea from. Um, no, I'm making tea bag holders. So you have your little thing, you'll put your tea bag, and it's a tea bag holder. So literally, that's all it is. And I put this so close so this can't go through. Oh, it did get through. So you can even go up to there. I got it through on that last one. So however you want to put that on. But it's literally, who would have thought just to be able to use up a last couple of beads of something if you wanted. If you know tea drinkers, a great gift for them, because one of the things that always happens, like I have for like loose grounds, where you could put loose tea grounds in there, tea leaves, I should say, not grounds. Coffee is grounds. But the loose tea in there, I have a thing that will like, so I don't have to put it in the little ball. But this, I love the tea bags, and this just makes it easy to get it out and not have to worry about it going in. Yep. And so like, so Nordic Luna had seen Heidi's Wraps videos and sent it to me, and I was like, I think I can figure this out. Yep, you'll see Christmas ornaments that will do that, and they will connect lots of different things and make some of the most beautiful wire wrap stuff. I'm not there yet. I'm still learning, and I want to show you guys, because that's one of the things I want you guys to see, is that when we start, how we progress and learn. So hold on, I'm going to grab my examples of what I worked on to get to what you saw me just make. All of these I did use the ring mandrel to do this. So this was my first one. I do have copper based um colored, this is an 18 gauge wire. This is in my own collection. And I was like, okay, I didn't like it at all. Yes, you can use the colored wire for this. I would really, if you're going to do colored wire, stick with aluminum wire because copper kind of flakes off sometimes with the color treatments that they do with it. But honestly, I will show you what I didn't like about these, and that's why I wanted to bring these over. I made this one loop in towards the center of what we just wrapped, and it hides it. If you notice here with what we did here, I went away. I went down and around instead of in. That works better. That is what I would say to do, is to go down and around instead of back up into the wrap. So that's what I didn't like about this one. So then I went to this one with my first try on the aluminum. I didn't cut a big enough piece. I did go the other way, but I really didn't like him. And I was having a hard time. And you see how like we have a lot of space here, but not enough space here? What you do is you take your pliers and you bring this down, and then you create the space in between. But I didn't like the way this turned out at all. I literally didn't. So then I was like, okay. And this one was up towards the top. So you see how, compared to, down at the bottom, how much tighter it is. And I didn't like the tightness from up here because it didn't give me a lot of room in between. That's just a personal preference. But you can do that. And to me, it's not bad. But I was like, what the heck am I doing to get all these bumpies? I figured it out. If you saw me when I was trying to measure how much we had, I put them away. I had my nylon pliers. I straightened it. It really does help if you straighten your wire. Why I didn't ever think of that to begin with, I don't know. Literally did not think about it until I finally made this one. I'm just giving you my tidbits on like what I did in my wire wrapping adventure. Here is when I finally did my first one down lower, and I liked the space better between each one. It's more defined, and I like that, but it's like really big. I started down here with that one, and I just didn't like it that big. So then I went up a little bit higher when I made this one, and I'm like, okay, we're getting there, but I have my little bumpy right here. I am critical. I will tell you guys, I am critical of my work. And I didn't like how much space is here either. And then on this one, we got a lot of space here again, if you look, but it's not as much as that last one. And I went up a little bit. I liked that one better. The largest number I have on my ring mandrel is a size 15 and a half. And so I was down in like the 14 area. Um, but the 9, or not the 9, the 10 to 11 area is where I personally like the size. That one that's really tight together is up here from like the tip of here to like about right here, which is 6 to 7 in size ring. So, and I'm not smushing it on my ring mandrel at all, just to let you know. I'm literally just forming it around it because I don't want it to get in the ridges of a ring mandrel, because if you see, they have ridges. I don't want it to get in the ridges. I just want it to form around that circle. So that's why I used it, because that's what I had on hand. I didn't go and buy anything to do this. This is literally wire that I had, ring mandrel I had, beads I had, everything I had. So I was using things that we have around the house. Um, Now that you did that to me, Ashley, I'm like, studio. Yeah. There are ring mandrels on the studio. She's over here going, she goes, "Do you have one on what a spider makes? I can't think of the other word we call it." That's okay. It was just so funny because I'm like, neither can I. We're going to laugh. It's Friday, everybody. So, literally, that was what I wanted to show you today. It wasn't anything over the top. Today's not going to be a long tutorial day, but I really wanted to share what I learned from doing my trials. Am I good yet? No, I still need to practice. But I wanted to give you guys ideas of things that you can use to help you get through this. I wanted to share, especially with Heather Boyd, um, her tips and stuff and her channel so that you guys could possibly go out and watch her too. Thank you. I'm not good yet. I will say that there are people that like can wire wrap, and I think what happens is that I compare myself to others that wire wrap and I'm not at their level, and I have to sit back and give myself grace that I am still learning. Thank you. So literally what I wanted to do was just share some things, share what I'm going through, and so that we can all learn and figure out what way works best for us, because we don't all learn the same way. And if this type of a tool can help you get there, hi, Ducky, I'm willing to share it. But I'm also going to share with who I got the information from. Thank you for the heart me. And as always, we love the two because we can go back and rewatch and do that. And if you guys have tips and tricks on how to make it a little bit better after you guys have played with it, and you found something that worked better, I'm going to have to take a drink. Hold on. Oh my. Of all things, that was caused by swallowing air wrong. Oh. Yep, I was like, Maria, no, it's not Maria, it's Rosie. Thank you. Ryan's outside. Ah, I love those words, Tyler. We're learning. We just gotta, we're making and just going and just take all that pressure off of ourselves. Because that's what we need to do, is not put pressure on ourselves. I do look at others and go, God dang. Hi, Tracy. Sorry, I started coughing in the midst of that on air, of all things. I could tell as soon as I took in that breath that I was going to start coughing on that breath. And I'm like, oh my Lord. And it makes my eyes water when I start coughing like that. Ah, So, what we were doing here, Tracy, is that we do different things. And today we had a tutorial so that we can make a wire wrapped tea bag holder. Whoops, not the tea bag side. Let's get that there. So you can see it like that and just be able to use beads to decorate it. That's what we were doing. All right. Thank you so much, Trisha. Thank you. That's why I was giving out their names, is because I do not. And so with all of our tutorials, our chat times, those are always, you can find them on the tube, same name as above, CarolJo's LLC. And you can rewatch them if you want to learn to make things. We do tutorials, we do chat times, which is where you get to ask all kinds of questions, and we can talk about, if anybody had a chance to make some of these, that what you would do or how did you do it differently, because we all are learning from each other, and just making it a time for us to be able to come together. We also do makers meetup where we can do um oh, she followed the two people that I was talking about from here. Sorry, I was answering Nordic Luna's questions, everybody. She was having um anyway, so we do makers meetup where you can join me on the live and we can create whatever you want to create. It's a time for us just to come together. And then we do events, and in the events we do have items that we have up for claiming that you can add to your own collection. We will have one of those tonight at 7 p.m. We have cabochon settings for that one. That's where I'm at on all the stuff. I still got to get it finished for tonight. We will have stainless steel jump rings in 4, 5, 6, and 7 millimeter, and they're 20 gauge. So they're a little bit thicker gauge than some of the other jump rings that are stainless steel. Woohoo, we got to 10K. I'm so excited about that. And then we're going to have some pendants, and we're going to have glass beads. We're going to have pearls. Not very many pearls, but we'll have pearls tonight. And what else do we have? We have gargonias. Okay, here is our next color, everybody, on our list. One word color, everybody. One word. Let's see. 5. Is today the 14th or the 15th? 15th. Somebody already got it. Woohoo, who got it? Ducky, your lucky day. Ducky gets 5 creative credits for guessing the color mango. So mango is the color that we had for today. Um, what else do we have in there tonight? We have an acrylic bead. What was it? Oh, acrylic leaves. That's what it was. Okay, I'll go to my backup. I got into the tube, so let me go back into there. Hello. Oh my Lord. Ooh, that's really cool with the square. I like that. I'm going to show them here, okay? I'm excited about that for you. So this is what Nordic Luna did with the squares. So it's like it comes up and goes around, and then it goes to the whole, links together. That is cool. And you're like, I'm going on watching Carol. We'll talk in a minute, but you can go talk to him because that's important. But we'll be back. I'm going to hop off here. See, now I'm done. I'm fine. I have a scratchy voice, but I'm fine now. Yes, that was Sissy's. She must have caught it off of Sissy's. You're right. But Nordic Luna just sent it to me. So did Sissy make that? um, I didn't see that at the top. So thank you, Ashley. Yep, she did. Okay. That's cool. Hello over on the tube. But I'm going to hop off. I'm going to finish getting ready for tonight's live. We will be back at 7 p.m. Central on, mine's not even live, mine was air. And we'll be back and we will do the event that is a debut event. I do have, because we do have those cabochon sittings with the turtles because we had them before. So that is a return. And one other bead that's a return so far. But we're going to have like 18 debut items, I believe, and 4 of the Gorgonias that are new. That's what I think we'll have. We'll see what I get done. How's that for an answer? All right, everybody. I'm going to hop off and go get things ready. So we'll see you in a little bit. Okay, everyone? Bye.